Alrighty, everybody. Welcome back to another video today. It's the Semiotician, and today we're going to try out Turbo Doomsday again, this time in the Legacy Challenge, the Sunday Legacy Challenge. I want to get at least one challenge in. I'll play as many of the matches as I can. If I do well, I will obviously continue playing them. We'll see how it all shakes out, though. I'm hoping to get a bit more practice against decks like Reanimator, Cutter, Blue-Black Tempo, and Mono-Red Prison. Those are the strategies I would like to face. I feel like I haven't faced them enough, especially Reanimator. I've got a 3-1 split between Lotus Petal and Cabal Ritual, just having that extra ritual in there to help against the Chalice of the Void decks. I've decided to cut the Cabal Rituals from my sideboard in favor of a creature package, which we'll explore in a moment. We've got the 4 personal tutors to find our Doomsdays. Our Disruption Suite uses 4 Force of Wills, 3 Dazes, 3 Thoughtseize, and a Flusterstorm. The 4th Thoughtseize being the first Flusterstorm to add to our blue count. So we'll sort by color here. 24 blue cards. That's a nice amount. I like that. Sort back by mana value. We've only got 4 Cyclers in the deck. I still have the Quantum Riddler, again, to contribute to the blue count of the deck. I think I like having a high blue count. And, you know, there's a lot of Bowmasters and damage and quick threats kind of in the format. We're having 4 Street Wraiths. Sometimes it can be a little painful, especially when you're playing cards like Thoughtseizes as well. So if you did want to play 4 Street Wraiths in this deck, what you would do is you would cut Quantum Riddler and you would cut Thoughtseize, I believe. But I'm going to try the Riddler again today. I don't know. Sometimes the card just feels like it does absolutely nothing, but then other times it feels so busted that I'm willing to continue trying it. Other than that, the main deck is like fairly stock. The sideboard is where things get a little spicy. So we're going to try out a new card today in Spectral Restitching. This is Hide on the Ceiling from the Spider-Man set in paper, not to be confused. So it says exile target artifact, X target artifacts and or creatures, return the exiled cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So you can use this card if your opponent has like a pre-Doomsday Chalice of the Void or Disruptor Flute in their end step. You can restitch problematic permanents by exiling them, and they won't return until your next end step, which means you could clear the way for a Doomsday to resolve. We have to keep in mind, though, that when the flute does return, they can name something new with the flute. So they could name like Oracle or Jace when it comes back into play. So we have to be sure that we can kill like instantly using the Spectral Restitching. But this card also, so another way that I've been losing a lot recently is to Construct tokens. Spectral Restitching kills Construct tokens for 3 mana. You can also convert extra Dark Rituals into your Spectral Restitching's X value, which, you know, sometimes you have that extra ritual in your hand and you don't mind going blue ritual, Spectral Restitching, exile 3 things or something, right? That can be good. You can also, flicker your Oracle. So if you cast Oracle, say, I mean, I don't know how often this comes up though, right? Because it's like Oracle costs 2 mana and then you're supposed to have a Spectral Restitching in your hand that costs another 2 mana. If they consign your Oracle trigger, you can restitch it and then it enters in the battle. You throw it to the ceiling and then it jumps back down from the ceiling in your end step and triggers the Oracle again. So you can be consigned to memory that way. And in a way, I guess you could have 3 Oracle piles, quote unquote, with the Spectral Restitching. It can also remove Bowmasters from the battlefield in your opponent's end step, which I think is pretty sweet as well. My foray into Esper did tell me that Tamiyo is a sick magic card. So I'm going to try in this version of Turbo 3 Tamiyos in the sideboard. I had 4 as the only creatures, but then I thought, you know what? I kind of want to bring in a couple of Barrowgoyfs. I'm still worried about Cutter. So Cutter really, really worries me. And also Mono Red Stompy kind of worries me as well. So I think if we have a couple of Barrowgoyfs in the sideboard, I kind of replaced the Cabal Rituals for the Barrowgoyfs to give us a little bit more fight against some of these stompy decks, a couple extra threats. But the Tamiyos seem like they'll be excellent against Blue-Black Reanimator, Blue-Black Tempo, Corey Steel Cutter. We bring in all these cards, and then I split the Shieldred, 2 Barrowgoyfs, 1 Shieldred, because I think Shieldred's still good at pressuring like Ancient Tomb strategies, as well as like One Ring decks, and just generally against decks like Sneak and Show, Omni Show, especially, right? Like you can show and tell in Shieldred, and then they usually have to work quite a bit to get to their opponents to their win con, right? And so, yeah, the Shieldred's really, really nice there. I decided to play 1 Nihil Spellbomb in the sideboard to respect the Reanimator matchup, and then we can go up to 2 Flusterstorms. We've got a Duress and a Cabal Therapy. I think the Cabal Therapy might work nice with Tamiyo, so that can come in as a package. And then we've just trimmed down to 2 Force of Negations. I cut one of them for a Spectral Restitching. Because I don't know, the Force of Negation just hasn't quite felt good enough for me these days. But it looks like we've got our opponent already. And so yeah, let's hop into round 1 of this Sunday Legacy Challenge here and see and hope that we don't get utterly destroyed by the top echelon of of Magic players on Moto. Let's make sure I registered the right deck. Looks like it. Looks like the one we talked about. Okay. We have a Route to a Doomsday, a Daze, a Consider. We have 1 mana. I think we keep this hand. Let's see what our opponent's playing. Savannah into Reclaimer. I think that's fine. It might not be, but I think it's fine. Oh, wow. There's Dark Ritual. So I think I just go basic island here. Personal Tutor, put Doomsday on top of my deck, and pass the turn. We've got this Lotus Petal, which we can utilize, and we've got a Daze, which we can also utilize here. Outland Liberator. I might just send it on them, honestly. Do we think they have Endurance in their hand? That's kind of like the main thing that we have to worry about here. Well, let's see. We're going to go to 9. We can take, let's say we take 5, go to 4. We might as well play around the Endurance, right? So we'll use Thassa's Oracle. We can just like consider bin something in their end step. And that will get us, I guess, Cavern of Souls. And then we're going to take 5 damage here. I think something like this is probably fine. And then we can force their Endurance. Oracle on the bottom, Cavern on top. I'll just pass. I think there's no reason to lose to an Endurance there. We've got Force, blue card, Daze, and then Consider with the basic island, so we're free from Wasteland here. If we have to Daze as well as Force, that's the only thing. Wow, so they had Talon Gates in hand too. So I guess they need double Endurance to beat us here, and that would do it. Cast Consider, put Street Wraith into the bin, draw Edge for turn, cycle this, Cavern, we'll go Merfolk, blue, cycle Edge, cast Oracle. The Daze isn't doing us any good. Okay, so this is Depths. What do we want against Depths? Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, probably isn't a bad idea. Deafening Silence, that's one we really can't answer. So I guess we want actually the Force of Negations as well as the Jace here. I don't think we want to board in our creatures. We can bring those cards in perhaps. Riddler remains cool. We want to keep all of our mana. If they're playing Naya, we might still want Cavern. I suppose that Daze, in all likelihood, especially on the draw, isn't like the best card. And then maybe like Flusterstorm as well is kind of lacking. Sort by mana value. Is there anything else we'd like to do here? Force of Negations are for Deafening Silence. Possible Disruptor Flutes. We could bring in like Nihil Spellbomb or Vision Charm for their Endurances. That's kind of precarious. Like it's kind of challenging to make that work. So we'll just try to beat Endurance using the other cards in our deck rather than going in like that. This hand, Force of Will, Pitch Force of Will, double Dark Ritual, Street Wraith, and 2 lands. This one, I think we're going to mull. Oof. These sorts of dirtle hands are not the ones that we want necessarily. I guess I'll keep it, though. I'll bottom the Lion's Eye Diamond. I could go to 5, but... Okay, so they are paying blue. Elvish Reclaimer could bury us this game. I'll let it go, though. Another Ponder. We better start casting them. If I get Wastelanded, that's so bad. But if I take this island, then I'm looking for Dark Ritual and Doomsday. I'm going to take the island, though. Crazily. Those are not the cards that we're looking for. Another force. Now I kind of wish I forced the first thing. We're in Cantrip City here, folks. Okay, so now they're getting lands. There's a Street Wraith. Let's start with a Brainstorm. We need like Dark Ritual Doomsday. Well, that's part of them. Undercity Sewers back. Maybe Street Wraith back as well. Ponder. Let's go any order shuffle on those. Pick up a Thassa's Oracle. Okay. Let's see what they're getting here. It could just be Wasteland. That would be rather annoying. Just the Flagstones. Okay. They already have the Wasteland. That's good for them. They're going to use their land again. Doomsday? Oh, me oh my, daddy. What if I just go Dark Ritual, Doomsday? They're going to have Pyroblasts in their hand as well. So we'll go Thassa's. Well, we got Thassa in hand already. We might want the second Oracle in the pile just for shits and giggles. And then probably want like another blue card. So I guess it could be Consider. We're going to go to 9. Take a bit of damage here. Go to 6. Edge. Well, if we go Edge, we won't be able to cast the second Oracle. Maybe we're just supposed to go empty then on 1 Oracle. In that case... we go like this, maybe? I don't know if this is right. I'm not sure about this. Oh, man. We're choking. What are they getting here? Savannah and Surveil Land. Let's hope they don't top whatever it is. Yavimaya to Graveyard. So I think we lose to Endurance plus... yeah, we somehow lose to Endurance plus Pyroblast here. Green Sun for 2. So yeah, they do have Pyroblast. Let us hope that they don't have Pyroblast plus Endurance. So yeah, we'll cycle Wraith. So the last card was supposed to be Daze. Very nice. All right. Take down Naya Depths in round 1. 62 players. A good old 6-rounder here. I think this is going to be the part of the league where we get paired into all the blue tempo decks and just get utterly destroyed. Which would be what happens if you win probably round 1 of Eternal Weekend. So we ought to get ready here. All right. Alrighty. We got a Psychic Frog Avatar gamer here, which terrifies me. Red Hot Phil 87. OmniTell. Okay. Fuck. All right. This matchup's a doozy. They have so much control, but we also have like quite a bit of control. Our Shieldred could come in clutch here from the sideboard though, so we can look forward to that. The nice thing about my tournament results is that I suck at Magic, and so the last result I have is like a 4-2 on Cutter. So maybe my opponent will think I'm a Corey Seal Cutter gamer and keep like a removal heavy hand or something. I mean, if they're playing OmniTell, they probably won't even have removal at all. Uro, Atraxa, Emrakul. So we got Brainstorm, we got Spell Pierce to worry about, Veil of Summer to worry about, Stock Up to worry about, Force of Will to worry about. Commandeer in the sideboard is fucking sick. Then they've got Consigned to Memories, Flusterstorm, Force of Negation. Yeah, there's a whole plethora of things to worry about. If this wasn't a Cavern of Souls, this hand would be so sick against Sneak and Show. I would snap that up. But as it stands, we're unfortunately going to have to mulligan it. This ain't the best hand against Sneak and OmniTell. I think we can keep it, right? We could turn to a Quantum Riddler here. I wonder how crazy that would be. I'm going to keep the Quantum Riddler in my hand, I think. And I guess I'll bin one of these Ponders. Don't turn one me, daddy. That's all I ask. I kept a dirtly hand like this yesterday and got crushed. All right, to the OmniTell is checking out here. Polluted Delta, not the best draw. I think we'll start off with a Ponder here. I suspect that they will not Force of Will this. You could say I'm supposed to hold the Ponder and just play Polluted Delta pass. Maybe I'm supposed to bottom the Dark Ritual. Oh my god. I think I'm going to any order shuffle this. As much as I would like that Force of Will, like, we just don't have anything else going on. I could Personal Tutor, put Doomsday on top of my deck. I don't even know that I want to do that. I think I'll just pass. I do not like our spot here. They could go Ancient Tomb, Stock Up, and then, like, how do we ever win this game, right? Ponder. That's fine. I think I might try my hand at a Riddle Me Timbers next turn. We'll see, though. We'll see. Okay, so they liked the cards they saw. Now they're going to be representing Veil of Summer, potentially. Preordain. Okay. Spinning Tires. Force of Will. Ponder. I think that's what I'm going to do to start things off. Are they going to daze this? Like, should have I played my land first? I didn't play my land first because there's like a world where we might want Thoughtseize plus the card underneath the Thoughtseize, and then we want to play the Swamp. Now we might just slam this Doomsday. Use Ponder's ability. No. Let's go Polluted Delta, Lotus Petal, Fetch, Dark Ritual, Doomsday. They'll Force Pitch Uro. Okay. And we'll pass. Vista. This is probably just going to be show and tell, I imagine. Yep. We'll put our Riddler in. They've got Omniscience and Pass, huh? Fascinating. Let's attack with Quantum Riddler. Let's, I guess, Personal Tutor for Doomsday. Pass the turn. God, we just got to hope they brick hard here. What is happening? I might just Dark Ritual in my opponent's end step here. Yeah, let's do that. This way we draw 2 cards on our turn. Okay. Guess let's get our attack in. Doomsday for triple black. I assume they've got counterspells out the wazoo here. Force of Will. Please just brick again. The moment they find a Ponder or a cantrip, we're just so dead. Oh my god. To draw 2 cards again? Cast Lion's Eye Diamonds. Let's cast Brainstorm. Put back Force with Edge of Autumn on top. We'll play Swamp Petal. Declare attacks. I guess we need like... Oh, no, I was supposed to do Edge. And then cast the Street Wraith here. Let's just cycle it, I guess. There's Force of Will. We'll pass. This Quantum Riddler's drawing us so many cards. It's insane. What a cool game of Magic, even if we lose. Wow. All right, so now we've got Force of Will for their, like, Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go Force of Will. Wow, we just get it? Okay. We're going to draw 2 more cards. Daze. Well, let's attack. Let's play Lotus Petal. Let's cycle Edge of Autumn. Let's Thought Seize them. It's double Ancient Tomb. Let's play Thassa's Oracle. Let's put Force of Will on top. Or Street Wraith on top. Street Wraith on top. Because if they do find their way out of this, we're gonna have to go deep here. We just gotta hope they brick one more time. Counterspell. There's a bunch of things they could draw that's a brick, but there's also a bunch of things that are the opposite of bricks. The Daze does nothing here. Come on. Oh. That is so crippling. Oh my fucking god, dude. That's just heartbreaking. My god damn. Things are gonna get hard now. Okay, so against Sneak and Show, we want Force of Negation, Cabal Therapy, Duress, Shieldred, Flusterstorm, and 3 Tamiyos, and probably also Jace for value grinding. That was so heartbreaking. Fucking Emrakul. They probably play 1 Emrakul in their deck. No. So, like, I could have cast the Street Wraith, but... And then I would have had lethal, so I kind of screwed that up. But I think I wouldn't have been able to cast the Force of Will on their stock up, and then they would have got me anyways. In any case, let's get these terrible personal tutors out of our deck. I don't think we're going to be needing personal tutors. I also don't think we're really going to be needing our Cabal Ritual. I think that we can probably cut down on a Petal here. And then beyond that, I can see it being fine trimming, like, maybe even on a couple of our cyclers. We could trim a Thassa's Oracle because we're bringing Jace in. Though maybe that's not even right. Is Consider good against our opponent? I don't necessarily think so. And we're just looking for one more card here. The Riddler was sweet there. I'm going to keep the Riddler in. It could be a Daze. But we're on the play. I don't mind keeping the Dazes on the play here. Let's get all of that out. Sort by mana value. We're going to be careful with our discard into their... into some of their cards. Like their Veil of Summers, for example. You know what? Let's just go down to 1 Petal. I think that was so friggin' crippling. The Emrakul off the top too. Not even ponder into it. Just natural Emmy. Would you like to play first? Yes, I would like to play first. This hand seems awesome. We've got a bunch of Force of Wills. We're going to have a Tamiyo now to start grinding our opponent out, hopefully. So let's just get Underground Sea, Tamiyo, pass the turn. I might even just go for a flip on the Tamiyo. Start ticking up. So we got so many forces in our hand. They probably don't have an answer to this Tamiyo either. We'll see. Petal's good. They got something in our upkeep. That last game was so sick. God damn. It's the Riddler. You need some luck to win a tournament, right? I would like to flip this Tamiyo pronto here. So let's get in for an attack. We'll make a clue, and then we're going to jam Brainstorm. Try to flipper the Skipper. Spell Pierce. How do we feel about that? I think we just say okay, actually. Maybe that's wrong, but beating Veil of Summer here is going to be a little hard. Opponent's spinning some number of tires here. Maybe I force on the Brainstorm and just get my guy flipped, because then I can just return my force next turn. Quantum Riddler's in the house. Let's make a clue, I guess. Cast Ponder. We're really looking for a land here. I mean, I guess. Ancient Tomb, pass. Yeah, if I had just forced that, I would have my guy already. Hopefully we can find the Ponder now, or the land now. I'm just going to let this go, honestly. Yeah, so the Tamiyo would have ulted there, and we would have been in an unlosable position if I fought over that. Show and tell. Let's go Force of Negation, pitch Force of Will. They'll go Veil of Summer. Let's go Force of Will, pitch Force of Will. Okay. But now, yeah, I should have forced that Spell Pierce. That was game losing. I'm just never going to use any of my clues. This Tamiyo has done nothing. Come on, brother. Cavern of Souls. I'm going to name Wizard. I'll attack. Now we can finally start cracking clues here. We burned through a lot of stuff. We got clues for days. There's an Underground Sea. There's a Doomsday. Attack with Tamiyo. Draw off another clue. Cabal Therapy. Let's go Underground Sea. Let's go Cabal Therapy. I feel like they probably would have jammed Show and Tell if they had it. Force of Will. Yep. Okay. Now we know what's in their hands. Pass. Draw another Doomsday. Okay. Let's attack with our Tamiyo. Clue. I guess we just play Brainstorm here. Let's put 2 Doomsdays back on top. Tamiyo will flip here, unless they're going to consign the flip trigger, which would be fine by me. They're going to let it go. Fascinating. Ponder, sure. Stock up. This seems like a great Daze target in a game where Daze's stock is dwindling. So we'll get that out of the way. We'll draw one of our Doomsdays. We could tick Tamiyo up. I think I'm just going to tick down on Cabal Therapy. Hit them with a Cabal Therapy. This time, let's name... Wait. Consign to memory. So they're going to have Omniscience, Veil, Emrakul. 2 Omniscience, Veil, and Emrakul. And then I guess we'll just pass another stock up. This time we'll fluster it. They're just scooping. Okay. That was a huge grind with the Tamiyo there. I think I'll just run back the same deck. Quantum Riddler. Riddle me timbers. I can't believe that first game was so fucked. God, Tamiyo was so freaking good in that game. Really wish I didn't force to protect. I think I couldn't. If I could have gotten got by the Veil there, that would have been bad. Like, I might have actually lost the game by flipping the Tamiyo, but yeah. Back in on the draw. Yeah, this hand seems great, right? We've got the Tamiyo again. We've got Force of Will, pitch Brainstorm. We've got Duress. Let's hope our opponent doesn't just pass like that. Okay, that's what they're doing. So we have to be mindful of Veil of Summer here. Wow. I think I'm just going to play Tamiyo. Just play Tamiyo, pass. We got to hope that they can't present a... we got to hope they can't present an Emrakul Omniscience with like multiple layers of protection here, I guess. But I don't think I want to just duress them into an open green mana, right? They're just passing again. I think I'm going to Dark Ritual Doomsday them here. Maybe I should do that next turn around Spell Pierce. So, like, I could Dark Ritual Doomsday. Like, I just want to get counter magic out of their hands, but if they spell pierce me, that's really bad. So maybe I'm actually just supposed to duress them into the Veil of Summer. It like forces them to burn their Veil, and then hopefully they don't have it to like protect their Doomsday next turn or their show and tell. So let's do this. They've just got the Veil, of course, but now they don't have the Veil. If they have Spell Pierce too, it's so bad, right? Oh, this is so hard. If they have Spell Pierce, it's so bad. All right, go ahead. Island go. Drawing Force there, sweet. Tamiyo, make a clue. Let's go Cavern. We'll name Wizard. Let's go Dark Ritual. Let's go Doomsday. Force Pitch Cunning Wish. Okay. I think we'll just pass then. A nice 2-for-2 trade. I could have forced the Doomsday through, but surgical on Doomsday. So we have a Shieldred in our deck. I'm going to let it go. We're going to have to win with Shieldred, Jace, and Quantum Riddler here, and we have one Street Wraith. Fair enough. I was not expecting the surgical extraction. We're going for an island cycle here. So they've got it all, huh? Force of Will, pitch Brainstorm, maybe? They've got the Veil of Summer. Draw off Clue into Ponder. Force pitch Show and Tell. Oh, I was supposed to hit the Veil. Now they drew off the Veil. Whoops, 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 whoops. Okay. Now let's attack with Tamiyo. Make a clue. Second main phase. Draw off Clue. Oh, there's the Jace. Draw off Clue. Plus Tamiyo. Pass. We can't cast Jace, hilariously. Ponder. Stock up. That's a good one. Okay, so they took 2 cards off their stock up. We've got a Flusterstorm. Are they going to have a Veil? I'm going to return Duress. I'm going to Duress them and I'll Fluster their Veil. Okay. Fluster. Okay. I'll take their stock up. Ooh. No way. Fuck. No. That's insane. Oh, I know. That is just fucking crippling. And I can't even put my Jason off of this. That is so heartbreaking. I don't think we can beat this Atrax anymore. My goodness. I don't even know what they took. I think the game's just over. Like, my Shieldred's not racing this. We'll just scoop it up. There's nothing that we can do about it. Oh shit, Ozymandias. We're cooked. This will be blue-black Reanimator. Ozymandias is one of the best players probably on Magic Online. This hand's unplayable, so we'll mulligan. This hand's pretty sick. Okay, so we got to ask ourselves, are we going to spew? I think I'm just going to spew. I know I have the Fluster. They're on a mull to 6-2. I could just put Doomsday on the bottom. That way we, like, keep the Oracle. I think I'm just going to spew here. Maybe that's so, like, here's the thing, right? If I just pass with Flusterstorm up and they Thoughtseize me, then I Flusterstorm their Thoughtseize, and if they have a Force, I lose anyways. Does that make sense? It kind of does in my head, but I don't know if that's right or not. They're on a mull to 6. If this gets countered, though, I'm just going to jam. I'm going to jam. I guess they're a 6 force deck these days, so jamming's not good. So I was going to say they're like 40% or whatever to have force, whatever the number is. And now we're dead. Like, we can just scoop it up. But see, so I would have thought sees this, put Doomsday on the stack next turn, and then I'm still just dead. Obviously take Fluster. Okay, and now if this was the Doomsday. All right. Time to get beating, I guess. Let's cast Thassa's Oracle. Don't want any of those. We're just looking for Doomsday here. If our opponent just Entomb reanimates me, I'm just dropping out of this tournament. Tamiyo, okay. Let's cycle Street Wraith. Another Thassa's Oracle. That actually really sucks that we drew that. That was probably the worst draw in the deck. Been Entomb, so they've got an Entomb in hand. They're just looking for a Reanimate. Tamiyo's coming in. Draw for turn. Doomsday. Misty Rainforest. Let's get frisky with the chicken. The moment this Tamiyo flips and then returns their Force of Negation, I'm just so dead. Bind again, which is good. Drawing off Clue, cracking Clue, passing, end step, Undercity Sewers. Personal Tutor is going to be a little late for the tutor, I think. But we'll try. Entomb in the end step. Got Archon of Cruelty. Okay. Dark Ritual. Doomsday. Holy shit. Okay. Well, we've got the Oracle in hand. So we're going to have to build a double Doomsday pile. And then we're going to go to 8 here. Archon comes in. I take 3, go to 5. They flash in Brazen Borrower in their end step. Attack me for 3. So it's just going to be edge to Cavern. Hope they don't have fucking Thoughtseize, I guess. And then we'll need Doomsday and I guess like a Dark Ritual. Oh, I'll put Doomsday and Daze in my pile, actually. That's what I'll do. Let's go Doomsday on the very bottom. I'm going to not attack now in case it's Bowmasters that they have. This is going to be the Borrower. Yep. Just like we thought. So Borrower will put me to 5, and then a Reanimate on the Archon will put me to 2. Come on, Ozzy. Don't do me dirty like this, brother. Oh, no. I forgot I had to discard a card. Yep. Fuck. Man. So we want Tamiyo's, Duress, Cabal Therapy. I think that's fine. Then I think we can cut like a couple of personal tutors. We can probably trim one of our street wraiths. We can trim the Quantum Riddler because we don't want them to get us like that. I want to keep a couple personal tutors though, I think. I think we can probably trim on Lion's Eye Diamond. And then I don't know if slowing down against Reanimator is not the best course of action, but it's what we're going to try, I think. Oh, let's get the Cabal Ritual, actually. And then let's bring in Personal Tutor. Or just the LED. We might want to be able to clip them with like a quick LED pile. I don't know though. There's the 1-up Nail Spell Bomb with no lands to cast it. Guess we'll keep this one. We'll put Underground Sea on the bottom. Duress. Double Reanimate, double Daze, and a Murktide Regent. We'll take a Daze. Fetching off the Verdant Catacombs. Playing Tamiyo off the top. Yep. Couldn't have taken that anyways. That's a good one. Well, there's a Thoughtseize. Let's cast a Ponder here. Oof. I guess we'll go any order shuffle. I'll hit him with a Thoughtseize. I think I'll take Daze. Pass the turn. They will not be able to deploy their Reanimate here, which is nice. Delta's in. Attacking. We just gotta hope. Oh, that was a sweet draw. Doomsday. Draw off clue. Let's go Oracle. Oh, man. Oracle, Wraith. Something like this. Oracle on the bottom with Edge on top. Oracle, Wraith, Edge. Pass, and we just gotta hope they don't have the consign on us. Ideally, they just jam Murktide here. Okay, well, they didn't flip the natural creature. That's really good. Making a clue. Attacking to 7. Looks like they're jamming Dragon. Yep. Sack Edge. Cycle Wraith. Play Oracle with Force backup. Okay. Oh, God. Okay. Do we want to make any adjustments being on the draw? I think the answer is no. We can't justify playing our Shieldred the Apocalypse, because if it gets Entomb reanimated, we're so cooked. Oh, man, the deck is just throwing us so many no-landers today. Such a shame. Yeah, we can keep this, I guess, bin a Force. Let's hope they don't collapse our hand with a Thoughtseize. Sure they will. Yeah, I'm not going to force this. They'll probably take Doomsday. Okay, go to my turn. Another Ponder's not bad. I'm kind of feeling like I don't want to lose to Wasteland this game. So I think I'm actually going to grab basic Swamp here. Thothy Voidwalker, Thoughtseize, Ponder. Well, let's just take the Voidwalker because I don't want to have a clock on me just yet. It's Polluted Delta. Thoughtseize me's fine. Maybe they take Force. Maybe they take Ponder. Ponder. Into Ponder. Into Reanimate on Voidwalker. All right, we're putting ourselves to the shit can, I guess. Tamiyo. Dark Ritual, not a bad draw. But, oof. All right, they found a Tamiyo. Binning lands. I have to go for the sewer here and just pray to the heavens above that there's a Doomsday on top of my deck. The time for Force of Will has passed. Ponder? Pedal. Let's just pass. This is not good. Maybe I was supposed to just let them have the Voidwalker, but the problem is that if I Doomsday, then they can Voidwalker Doomsday and just stack consigns on top of their deck, which is really, really bad for me. The moment they flip this, I'm cooked. Tamiyo. Name Wizard. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. I'll feign Force of Will. It serves me right for force pitching on the Dothy Voidwalker, I guess. There's, like, how do we ever win this game, right? Spellbomb. Okay, Consign's gone. But this one's over. Really wish that I held this cavern for exactly this moment. That'll do it. Alrighty. Alrighty, folks. We're going to see if we can't steer this sinking ship around. I think if I lose this next round, I'm gonna call it for the day. But we're gonna give it the old college try. I feel like we've been very close. I feel like I've been liking the way these Tamiyos have been feeling, and I feel like I want to keep pushing. We're getting good practice in against solid opponents. Like getting a match in against Ozymandias is excellent. Like you couldn't ask for a better Reanimator opponent than Ozymandias. I would think Eureka would be up there as well. Shout out to our boy. Yeah, 30 seconds here. We're going to keep our head up. Chuck Norris. We're on the play. This hand is garbage. We will mulligan, I think. I mean, we could play a turn 2 Thassa's Oracle, try to find Doomsday, but I think we can do better than that, right? Gosh, this hand is so sweet if there's a land. We could keep and send to Ponder. We could keep and send a Ponder off the pedal. We've got a Street Wraith to try to find us a land too. Bin a Personal Tutor. So we like bin Personal Tutor, cycle Street Wraith. If we hit a land off the Wraith, we can just Personal Tutor, put Doomsday on top of our deck. All right, folks. Getting a sparkling water here. I want to know if you would keep this hand. Let me know, please. I might try it for science. We're already 1-2. Like, what the fuck does it matter at this point? Or do we just go for... Like, we have an unprotected Doomsday if we do find a land in the top 4 cards. I think I'm going to keep this. Cycle Street Wraith. Cast Lotus Petal. Cast Ponder. I mean, at this point, right? At this point, we're just all in on Doomsday. Please don't be a blue deck opponent. Uh-oh. They haven't done anything. I'm gonna send it. They'll force me, I'm sure, but waiting around doesn't seem like the best idea either. Tropical Island. That's a good sign. Okay. We've got the Cavern already. We've got Edge of Autumn in hand. Let's go Oracle. Do we want to go double Oracle? So we had this like extra Edge of Autumn in our hand. Like, what are we going to do with that? What are we going to do about that? Island in case we get like wastelanded, I guess. So Oracle, Island, Oracle, Edge, or Wraith, I guess. I don't know if building a double Oracle pile here makes sense. So they are going to plow us. Fuck. This appears to be Nadu. Decline to use Ponder's ability. Oh, they're tapping again for a Tamiyo. Okay. What is this? Is this Nadu? Cycle Edge. Or Wraith. Cycle Wraith. Thassa's Oracle. Okay. I think we'll approach this as though it's Nadu. What do we want against Nadu? Petro restitching doesn't seem like it does a whole lot. Force of Negation hits Nadu. I think we want Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. There's a potential world where we can bring in Cabal Therapy to name like Endurance or Force of Will or Consigned to Memory. And then I don't know if Duress is good or not. Dazes don't strike me as the best cards. I mean, we could like fart around with like Tamiyos and stuff, but that doesn't really seem like the best course of action. I could see maybe bringing in like a Shieldred perhaps, but I don't even know if that's good. I think I'm just going to run it like this. Who knows if they're on Nadu or like blue control. If they're on like blue control, we'll reevaluate. This is pretty awesome. We'll keep. They're on a mull to 6 here. I think I'll smack them with this duress. All right, let's see what Chuck Norris wants to do here. Zagoth Triome tapped. Okay, so I don't know what's happening. We'll draw. Tis consider. Hit them with a duress. Show me your secrets, Chuck. Jesus Christ. Chucky. Chucky boy. Let's take the Fluster Storm, I guess. All right, Chucky's got the counter magic out the wazoo here. He's got the counter magic out the wazoo. I want to burn these forces ASAP. So in an ideal world, my opponent has not drawn a blue card here, and I just fire Dark Ritual Doomsday into the face of their cards. But if that's what I'm going to do, I think I'm... Oh, I should have brainstormed first then. I should have brainstormed before I played my land. I'm gonna send a Dark Ritual Doomsday here. And I hope that they have to force pitch force. Force pitch force. Okay. I think I'll pass with that. We'll consider in their end step. See what we would like to do. There's the trop. Let's see if we can't find another land. That would count. And a pedal. They have 2 unknown cards in their hand here. Is there any reason I shouldn't just kill them right here? Everything has just resolved. Let's build a double Oracle pile that also has LED. Wraith. How does this work? We go brainstorm, draw 1, 2, 3, put 2 back. Can we actually do this? There'll be 3 left in the deck. So we could also just make like a like Jace pile. I don't know. Let's just do something like this. Wraith on the bottom. Wraith on the bottom. Thassa, Jace. Brainstorm's an excellent draw for our opponent. I don't know if this kind of brute force gaming is going to work. Planes. Let's cast Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. I'll mill both oracles. Oh no. Are you kidding me? Fuck me, dude. What? I should just fucking cancel my trip to Eternal Weekend. This is insane. Cut Cabal Ritual. I am, I guess, just terrible. I'm going to cut the LED, I think. Well, let's keep the LED in. I'll cut down to just 1 tutor. Incredible. If I had just, like, milled them, like, what am I doing? Well, let's keep this. I'm just going to Thoughtseize them on 1 before they can, like, veil me. So if I wouldn't have milled myself there, I just mill my opponent. Force Pitch Murktide. What are they protecting? Oh, I could have Dark Ritual. I'm sorry, guys. I am so sorry. I could have Dark Ritual, Thoughtseize, Doomsday, and had Doomsday on the stack right now. Okay, well, they top decked. He declined to use Ponder's ability. Show me your secrets. Force pitch Ponder on Thoughtseize. Okay. Cavern of Souls. Thassa's Oracle. Street Wraith. Street Wraith. Edge. I'll have to pass twice here. Our opponent's salting out here. Zagoth Triome pass. Well, let's just hope they don't draw Consign. Murktide, they're dead. Okay. Yeah, well, they... I made a plethora of mistakes and did not deserve to win this game, but so it goes. So the second game, like, I should have won that game. So I had... What did I have? I had the Jace, and then I just, like, milled myself because I didn't think they could answer the Jace given what they were representing. And I guess at the time I still had them on Nadu in my mind, so like Leyline Binding wasn't really... I wasn't thinking about binding at all. So I thought I would just like do that, draw like a Street Wraith, pass the turn, and then if they try to kill it, and then I cycle in response. That like guarantees the win there through Consign to Memory, but it doesn't beat Leyline. The other option was to have Jace be the last card. And so what we would have done there was to go cycle Street Wraith, cast Thassa's Oracle. They Leyline bind it. We pass the turn. We untap upkeep. We draw. We cast Thassa's Oracle. They consign it. And then we still have, at the end of all of that, the Jace. Maybe that was the better way to go, to use Jace last and burn through the Oracles first. Yeah, that was a very poor... kind of poorly articulated, like poorly executed on my part. I was not thinking about Leyline binding there. In any case, I guess I'm going to stop the recording now, and we'll be back in about 25 minutes, I guess, because, yep. All right. We're back again. 43 seconds to round 5. 2-2 so far. We'll see what the next round brings us. Play has been a little sloppy today at times, and at other times I think it's been pretty good. My attention's been a little bit divided between playing around, you know, waiting 20 minutes, doing something else, and then trying to get back into the Doomsday state of mind. But in a way, that's kind of what it's like to play at a tournament like Eternal Weekend. So I don't know. Let's see who we get paired up against next. The Big Empty 92. Do I look them up? I'm not going to look them up. I mean, I can expect that they're looking me up, I guess. Fuck it. Okay, they have recent work on Izzet Delver, Painter, Dimir Reanimator, and then a boatload of land, some Sultai Tempo. They're all over the place by the looks of it, so not sure what they'll be up to here. Force of Will, Quantum Riddler. I think I'm going to... like, we're so close to jamming this Riddler. I'll keep on the draw. This is a risky keep. Oof. Right. Okay. Swamp into Thoughtseize. They're going to take the Riddler, and then they can just reanimate my Riddler, and we're dead. So Riddler is a liability, I guess, in your opening hand. I'm not going to force this Thoughtseize, though, right? Like, I assume they have to take Quantum Riddler. I hope they don't. Yep. Oh, man. What a liability. I should have mulled this hand. You can't keep shit like this. You, like, really can't. I'll play out one of these pedals. We'll pass the turn. Playing out the pedal to play around Daze. I assume they're going to point a Reanimate at my Quantum Riddler, and I'm going to have to force it. No. Or, so we'll fetch an end step. Grab Undercity Sewers. Cabal Ritual to Graveyard. That one's not going to help us. We'll pass. This was a terrible hand. I definitely should have mulled it. You'd have to kind of, I guess, keep every hand just assuming you're getting Thought Seized. Kolaghan's Command into their graveyard. Oh, are they playing Grixis Control? Oh, fascinating. Should have played the island. I can't remember what they've seen. Yeah, I should have played the island. The nice thing is that neither of us are doing anything. The bad thing is there's no way in the merry world that this thing resolves. But I guess we'll give it the old college try. Force of Will, pitch Brazen Borrower. Force of Will, pitch Daze. They know we still have this island in our hand, too. Does this resolve? There's no way this resolves. Wow, okay. Okay. Underground Sea. Cavernous Souls. Oracle. Maybe Brainstorm? Draw for turn. 4 cards left in deck. Draw these 3 cards. Put these 2 cards back on top. Yeah, I kind of like this, actually. As long as they don't have, like, double Bowmasters. Oh. Okay. Baleful Strix. Draw a card. Sure. Brainstorm. Sure. Oh, man, I forgot about Bolts in Grixis Control. I can't have both Bowmaster and Bolt. So let's see if this works. They're going to Brainstorm in response. Both of those in Cavern of Souls. Name Wizard. Fetch. Island. Cast Oracle. Bolt it. Cast Oracle. Got it. All right. That was a kind of cool pile. Lightning Bolts. Grixis Control. All right. Grixis Control is very hard. I think we want Shieldred. I think we want the Tamiyos. I don't think I've ever beaten Grixis Control, but I think every time I played against Grixis Control, I've played against James Casau. They're like a Pyroblast deck too. Do we want the Barrowgoyfs, like, just to kind of change up what we're doing? They're also likely to play, like, they could have Narsets. They also play opposition agents sometimes, right? So let's see here. We can probably cut the personal tutors. We can cut the Cabal Ritual. I think we can cut one of the Lotus Petals. We can probably cut a Street Wraith and potentially even an Edge of Autumn. And then the last card that we can cut could be a Daze. It could just be Quantum Riddler. But I kind of don't mind the Riddler when we're bringing in, like, the Barrowgoyfs and the creatures like this. Daze on the draw could be Like, not quite what we're looking for. So we could go like this. Again, so now we've got like a kind of pretty sick looking deck, I think. The Doomsdays, the Barrowgoyfs, the Shieldred, Quantum Riddler, number of things. On the draw here, we can lead on Undercity Sewers. I'll give this one a shot. It's not the best hand in the world by any means because of this card. But we are on the draw, so we get to see a land. It's pretty like safe against Thoughtseize, which I expect to get hit with here. They're probably like, oh no. Cabal Therapy with Tamiyo is also nice. I don't remember if I talked about that in the deck tech or not. Taking Force of Will. Okay. Interesting. That leads me to believe that they're going to try to resolve like oh, that ain't good. All right. Undercity Sewers, please show me a land. Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize plus Cabal Therapy is a strong combo. I'll bin it. Oh, they're going to play Bowmasters on me here, I bet. Ponder. Okay. I'm going to bin the Thoughtseize. I don't like binning the Thoughtseize because it's so powerful with Cabal Therapy, obviously. But I really need lands. Like, we really, really need lands. If I can draw a land and then I can play Tamiyo and use Brainstorm to protect it, that's going to be excellent. Well, that ain't good. All right, let's just deploy Tamiyo here. Pass the turn. 3 Doomsdays in hand. Hopefully let's hope our opponent doesn't play this card. Clunking out hard. I'm really glad I bin the Thoughtseize now. Psycho Lorien revealed. Now they're going to take my Brainstorm, which is super unfortunate. Okay. We've just drawn Doomsday's opponent. They're going to bolt my Tamiyo. Sure. So now we're in the shit can. Stark Ritual's the best draw, though. Underground Sea's not too shabby either. I'm going to name Orcish Bowmasters here, I think. Orcish Bowmasters. No. Oh, they have a Narset and a Murktide. Okay, we're dead to the Murktide. For sure dead to the Murktide. Hopefully they play Narset. Be jamming Murktide here, though. And yeah, I guess we just clunked out. Fuck me, dude. And Brainstorm. Not quite sure what I can do about this. So they're going to have Narset. It's actually so funny that Vision Charm would have been so good to have in the deck. I was thinking about bringing it in. So my opponent attacks me. I go to 2. And then I draw for turn. I can play Consider. I think we have to do like Tamiyo. This is so risky. Fetchland puts just 3 cards left. Consider leaves me with 3 cards left as well. We're going to have to get extraordinarily lucky here. I'm assuming they have Narset in their hand. It would be absurd for them not to have Narset in their hand. Kept the card on top of the library. If it's just a lightning bolt, we're dead. If it's Bowmasters, we're also dead. So now I was actually supposed to have the Consider on top. Are you kidding me? They just have Bolt? Oh, okay. Weird, dude. Okay. Sure. Days back in on the play. I'm going to bring in the Vision Charm, actually, instead of the Days, just for a spot like that, knowing that they have Narsets in their deck. And I think I'll cut a Petal. Grixis Control has to be among the more challenging matchups for this deck to face. I'll keep this hand. It's a cantrip away from a turn 2 Doomsday with Days back up. Let's cast Ponder. Barrowgoyf is interesting. It's not going to be good enough, but we can try. Ponder. They shuffled their library. Okay. So there's the old BG. Will Thoughtseize. I think I take Murktide here. That puts a creature into the bin as well. I'm going to force, pitch, consign. I'll daze the force. Then buries in. Let's see how he does. It's funny that this brainstorm can just like, they get like Fatal Push or something. They can just kill Barrowgoyf instantly. And then we're in like a whole world of hurt, and they've got like Orcish Bowmasters, which is a huge problem. That was good for us, though. Unless they're just playing with us. No, it seems as though that was really good for us. Tamiyo, excellent draw. Let's crash into the red zone with Barry. The Barrow G. Let's use its ability. We don't find anything. We'll deploy our Tamiyo now. They're going to force pitch Snapcaster Mage on Tamiyo. Okay. Do they have an answer for the Barrow G? I really hope they don't. Lorien revealed in upkeep to Island Cycle for Volcanic Island. Volk comes in. End step. Undercity Sewers. We just need to find... I don't think Oracle's really what we're looking for here. Let's put that to the bin. Thoughtseize is pretty awesome. Barry's coming in. Yep, let's mill 5. We do not hit a creature again. Thoughtseize our opponent. Take Baleful Strix. Got Price of Progress and Bowmasters. Come on. Force of Will. I think I'm going to try to send on the Force here. Blue card, blue card, blue card, blue card, blue card. Doomsday, that's so funny. Okay. Now I don't think we're getting there. Because I've just like sacked a land. Maybe was a risky play. Blue card? Blue card's great. Eat the guy. Now I've got Force of Will. I'm just going to pass. Hoping for another blue card here. Thoughtseize. Another Bowmasters. Force Pitch Brainstorm. Crash into the red zone. Get me a creature here, please. Quantum Riddler. Not a bad one. I'm just going to Thought Seize them, though. I guess we'll take the Opposition Agent, which is a chump blocker. And we'll see if the Barrowgoyf is able to get us across the finish line here or not. Oh, yes. Okay. Big Berry. Big Berry came in handy there, folks. Wow. Yeah, so our opponent's hand was well equipped to stop a Doomsday. Like, if that Barrowgoyf was actually just Doomsday and I, like, Thoughtseize saw the double bolts, like, we can never put the Doomsday on the stack. But there we go. That is the Barrowgoyf coming into handy here. And it looks like we've got about 3 matches left until the final round with a possible 4-2 on the line here. Wonder Pro's at 3-2 as well. All right, got the opponent already. We're 1 minute, 30 seconds away from the last round, folks. Top 8 Dreams, most certainly dead. My tiebreakers are pretty bad as well, I think. I don't really know anything about tiebreakers, though, so I'm not even going to bother looking at this shit. I'm a philosopher, not a mathematician. Wrestler, not a cop, in the words of Peter Parker. Now part of the Magic the Gathering lore. All right, who we got for the last round? Can't be Ozymandias, who's also 3-2. I'll probably get our... I don't know what we're going to play against. Ooh, Sunk. Oh, man. Okay. Is it Delver? Is it Delver? Uh-oh, this ain't good. This is not good, folks. This one is not good. We're going to keep this, though. We're against Delver. We got the turn 1 Dark Ritual Doomsday. That's how you beat Delver on the play, or in game 1. Thank God I added those 2 Barrowgoyfs to my sideboard, I guess. Oh, Ancient Tomb. Oh, no. Oh, Grim Monolith. It's not Delver. If I can draw a... Oh, Daze. That's not the most helpful of Magic cards. Underground Sea, Dark Ritual, Doomsday. We could make a Quantum Riddler pile. How does that work? Or is there a way that we can make a pile where we have Lion's Eye Diamond and then like a fetch land as our last card? So we would play Fat Polluted Delta. We would draw... How does that work? There's got to be a way to do this, right? Lion's Eye Diamond, Island, Thassa's Oracle, Street Wraith. How does this work? Draw Lion's Eye Diamond for turn, 4 cards left in our deck. Cast Brainstorm, draw Edge, Wraith, Oracle. Consider Oracle. Edge, consider Oracle. Put Oracle down with something else on top. Does this work? I think this works. I could be wrong, though. If they Karn me, then we're in like a bit of a world of hurt. Oh, fuck. Does this actually work? I don't know. I actually don't know. I think it might not. I'm struggling to visualize. Play Polluted Delta for turn. Draw Consider. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw Consider for turn. Cast Brainstorm. Draw Lion's Eye Diamond. Boss's Oracle. Edge of Autumn. They're jamming a second Grim here. I think I probably fucked this up somehow. Are they going to jam Ugin? If they jam Ugin, I can daze with the exile trigger on the stack. Oh, Ugin would be the best thing for them to play here. I think I fucked up my pile. I can't visualize this. My mind is too fried. I could have gone for some kind of Riddler pile probably. But even there, I don't know how that works either. So if they Karn me, I don't think I can win. If they go Karn and have like a land in their hand, they can lattice me. Could Karn flute me. I think I built a poor pile. Ugin me, Ugin me, Ugin me. Oh, this is a Kozilek's command for the full, and we'll daze it. And now, I believe hold control, cycle this, triple blue, Bobby boy. All right. Okay. Mystic Forge, you say? Against Mystic Forge, I want Force of Negations, Hide on the Ceiling, Vision Charm, Jace, and I think I'll bring in the Shieldred as well for the old shits and gigs. We're on the draw, which means that the dazes aren't going to be good. I don't think, but I think I'm going to bring the dazes in on the play because Disruptor Flute is so important. Flusterstorm, I think we can get by without. I don't mind having access to discard spells because that can be like a pretty potent way to stop what my opponent's doing. I suppose that I can cut the Cavern of Souls. And then the last thing that I can cut here could be Boss's Oracle. How does that look? Pretty decent. I think this is how we're going to run it. No lands. The amount of times we've seen no lands this tournament has been pretty crazy. The other thing we have to always keep out now is sometimes this deck plays Mindbreak Trap, so we need to be mindful of the Mindbreak Trap as well. We're going to mulligan because we have no lands. This is not a winning recipe. This is where, like, if they have an Urza's Saga hand, we just probably lose. But we can... I guess I'll keep it here. We'll see if our opponent keeps or mulls. They're going to keep 6. I'll keep 2. We've got a game to give here. The double force hand, certainly better. Tezzeret Cruel Captain. I think I'll force pitching Riddler here. Just get him out of here. I don't want them to start like untapping Monolith and getting all this value. So there's Doomsday. So now we just need Dark Ritual deck. We just need Dark Ritual. Okay. Jesus Christ. That was lucky. Second Ancient Tomb into Mystic Forge. Too many things can go wrong if that card resolves. Let's force it. And then we'll draw Oracle. Dark Ritual Doomsday. We're going to want... We'll go Street Wraith. Street Wraith. Underground Sea. Vision Charm. And I cut the second Oracle. And I cut the second Oracle. Fuck, why did I cut the second Oracle? That's so unfortunate. So unfortunate that we cut the second Oracle. Well, there's no way we can Doomsday again. Insane. Okay. So I guess if they have Kozilek's Command, which they probably do, I have to pass. I just draw a Street Wraith, pass. The second Oracle, man. If they pass with mana up, I'll pass. We'll draw a Cycler. Put the Oracle on the stack the following turn. Stuff starts to get a little challenging that way. If I had the second Oracle in the deck, it would have been like I have the pile in my mind. Karn the Great Creator. Okay. Do they have Pithing Needle? If they have Pithing Needle in the sideboard on Street Wraith, I'm fucked. Oh no. Please don't get Pithing Needle, opponent. Please don't get Pithing Needle. We're getting needled. We're going to get needled on Wraith. Liquimetal Coating. Liquimetal Coating. Mishra's Research Desk. We've got it. What does this do? Sacrifice, exile the top 2 cards of your library, choose one of them, until end of turn you may play that card. Cycle Street Wraith. Cycle Street Wraith. Underground Sea. Oracle. Alrighty, 4-2, guys. Oh my gosh. That was stressful. If they got Pithing Needle, I'm cooked. If they got Needle, I'm cooked there. Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. We got so lucky with our Ponder. Alrighty. Let's go. This deck was pretty cool. I don't know. Me and Wonder Pro. Oh, I love it. We both got 4-2. All right. So there's 7 matches left. Let's go back. I didn't play super tight, but I kind of like this deck. I kind of like the way this looks. Like the sideboard, the main deck is sick. The sideboard to this deck seems pretty good. I'd almost like 4 Tamiyo. The Tamiyos are so good against those control decks, like grinding. I think they're good against the blue and the blue Reanimator decks, and also the combo decks as well. The Barrowgoyf was clutch against Grixis Control. We would not have been able to win that game, particularly if it were not for this Barrowgoyf. There's a possible world where you could be playing the 3, but I do like having access to the Sheldred as a kind of third creature. So, I mean, we don't have that much gas here in order to like win games of Magic with damage. We do have the Quantum Riddler still in the main deck, so there is like a suite of creatures that at the very least present like problems for our opponent. They gain our life back. Like having ways to gain life in this format kind of seems important to me. One thing that I'm also satisfied on is like not having overloaded on the Force of Negations. I think 2's good. Most Legacy decks play 6 forces. Doomsday was an exception to that, playing a few more, but I don't mind like just having the 6 forces in the deck, especially when we have cards like Spectral Restitching, or Hide on the Ceiling rather, and Vision Charm. I didn't miss today the extra mana that I've been boarding on in other games. The question's just like, okay, how do you want to do this? Like, maybe you want another Nihil Spell Bomb. Maybe you can get by with just 4 Tamiyos and forego these 3 creatures, and you get 3 more sideboard slots. You could go 4 Tamiyo, 1 Shieldred. You could go 4 Tamiyo, 2 Barrowgoyfs. You could go 4 Tamiyo, 2 Shieldred. So that's interesting. Barrowgoyf's better, right? The more of them you have in Doomsday. But the way that this is set up, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, a Bowmasters wouldn't be bad either, potentially, in the sideboard to beat opposing Bowmasters, but I actually didn't feel like the Bowmasters were causing that much of a problem for me. More so, I guess, against blue-black tempo, wherein they have their powerful threats in Nethergoyf, where the damage starts whittling you down. I don't know that you can consistently beat blue-red tempo without something like Barrowgoyf in your deck. And so I'm wondering if some split like this is worth doing. I spent a really long time thinking about this sideboard last night when I got back from my 1K. And this is where I ended up, but it's not quite perfect. 4 Tamiyos would be perfect somehow. But yeah, this is getting closer to what I'm going to play at Eternal Weekend this year, I think. This was a nice run. I believe that the 2 matches that we lost were like pretty close. I may not have played them perfectly either. It's a shame that we can't go back to look at the replays while we're watching. Like, the replay function just doesn't seem to be working on Magic Online for me these days. But yeah, this was sick. I think Turbo is where I want to be. And I think the 4 Cyclers is fine. Like, I never really needed an extra one. Things I'm not sure about on the main deck are like, I think 1 Fluster's fine. Fluster hasn't been as busted. So just having 2 Flusters across the deck seems all right to me. The Nihil Spellbomb could be a Fluster, but having a Spellbomb is not a bad idea. You might want 2 Graveyard Hate spells. In terms of the Graveyard Hate spells I would play, I think Macabre is the best. But the Nihil Spellbomb at least replaces itself and can be used to crack into a Doomsday pile, and then has extra benefits of being good against Endurance. But I don't know what Endurance matchups you're actually boarding in Nihil Spellbomb to fight against. Maybe against like a bug control deck that had like Nethergoyfs, or like a bug tempo deck or something that had like Nethergoyfs and Endurance. But yeah, this is wild. Really liked how this ended up working out for me. Having the creatures in the sideboard was sweet. I would also love removal spells. Like, I would love to have a few more sideboard slots. Cabal Therapy was pretty sweet. I do like Therapy in conjunction with Tamiyos. So, like, imagine, right, a situation where you've like played your Tamiyo, you like attack, you get your clue, you haven't flipped your Tamiyo, and you've got like a Doomsday. You can like build a pile that like considers the Cabal Therapy into your graveyard, draws into like the Oracle, say, or whatever you need to put the Oracle on the stack, and then you sacrifice your Tamiyo. Like, before you draw your 3rd card, you sacrifice your Tamiyo to like Cabal Therapy name Consign. That's a line at your disposal. Vision Charm, Flusterstorm, Duress. I mean, let me show you what I bought yesterday. The reason I only have 1 Duress now. So I scrubbed out of my tournament, but I don't know. I think I made a video recapping a long while ago. I top forward with Is It Cutter at the same store, and I got $100 credit that I just never ended up using. And so it was rotting. And everything that I wanted was like more than $100, but I didn't want to, before Eternal Weekend, just drop like a bunch of money on some expensive card or something because you never know what you might see there. And so I just turned in my credit for this sick. Here, I got a foil 7th edition duress. It's fuck me, dude. The glare. Yeah, look at that beauty. So I like the idea of now just having one duress because I don't want to mismatch duresses, but this duress is fucking sick. Just toss that back in the old backup deck box. Where are we at here? How much longer do we have to hang out? So I lost to OmniTell. I don't remember what happened in game one. Game two, we just locked them out with Tamiyo and it felt insane. Like we had like a Tamiyo with a bunch of forces. I think I made a play mistake. I tried to flip my Tamiyo on like turn 2 or 3 with a brainstorm. And then my opponent force of willed. And I had a bunch of protection in my hand. And I just decided like, okay, if they're going to burn their force on my brainstorm, I'll just let it go. And then I'll have like 3 or 4 counter spells for the turn that they go off. And so I just let it go. What I kind of failed to acknowledge there was I could have like force pitched blue card. And then if they like force back again, now they're down like 4 cards. And I can force yet again to protect my Tamiyo and still, I think, have a force in my hand. I might be wrong. And then the Tamiyo can just rebuy one of the forces that I used to protect the flip the following turn. So what ended up happening was I just let it go and I was like, yeah, I'll just keep stacking up clues. But then like we just never saw another land for a really long time. And the Tamiyo like stacked up like 5 clues and it took us like a really long time. And then it got a little shady because they put their thing on the stack. We had to like have a big counter war over it, and we only had 1 counter left at the end of all that when the dust settled. And then the Tamiyo like finally flipped many turns later. And our opponent scooped. But it was like if I had just flipped it sooner, we would have been able to draw half of our deck like very handily and very quickly. So I kind of think I might have made the wrong choice there. So that's something that I need to evaluate, especially in these combo matchups. Like, when is it better to fight over, like protecting your own combo, whether it be a flip Tamiyo or a Doomsday? And then also, yeah, when you want to like use your own combo as like a hymn to Turok on your opponent's counter spells so that they don't have counter spells for our force of wills. The OmniTell matchups like made more difficult as well because they have Veil of Summers, and we're kind of like boarding in some more discard. I still think it's correct to bring in the discard because I think it's like a pretty bad play to just willingly throw a discard spell at your opponent's Veil. But if it means that they don't have Veil to protect the force, which is protecting their show and tell on the following turn, it might not be that bad of an idea. But yeah, we did walk into one of those in the third game. And then our opponent, like, yeah, just kind of like they surgicaled our Doomsday. I could have forced it, and I just decided, nope, we're going to win with these 2 cards, which is like a pretty real strategy, but it also is the kind of strategy that lets our opponent find and dig cards. And they're on Wall Street, right? They're a wolf of Wall Street. They're casting stock ups, and we just like can't keep up with that kind of value. And I think I did a pretty good job of keeping up with their value using discard spells, Flusterstorm and their Veil, to bring them down to just Atraxa. And then, like, in 2 turns, we could have used the Tamiyo to return another Force of Will, and we would have been in a good spot. But our opponent they didn't have to ponder for it or cantrip for it or anything. They just had the show and tell on top. These things happen. I really hope our opponent made top 8 because they definitely had the luck to do it. I just remembered as well, the first game, the Riddler. We never should have, like, it feels bad to lose when our opponent's at 1 or 2, whatever they were at. We never should have got that far to begin with. Like our opponent just got so unlucky. It's like they said, like, oh, I was so lucky, like better lucky than good, they said to me. But like, it was like about damn time that they found something. It was just a shame that it was actually the Emrakul. So I could have had lethal on the board, but then the stock up would have resolved, and I think I'm getting Emrakul anyways. So yeah, that was a sick game against Omni. And then the other kind of like unfortunate series of events against Aussie was that we had to run out our first Oracle to try to dig us to our second Doomsday. But then in the process of doing all that, we drew our second Oracle before Doomsday. And then we cast Doomsday and built a pile. So like I identified exactly what they had in their hand, which is Brazen Borrower. They had 3 mana up, right? And their plan was to, like, I had built the pile in such a way that we didn't deploy our Street Wraiths so that we wouldn't die, because I think I was at 8 and they were representing 3 damage off of their Brazen Borrower, which I suspected them to have in their hand, and then another 3 off the Archon. My issue was that I was so hell-bent and focused on thinking about the damage aspect of things that I totally forgot that the Archon also makes me discard a fucking card. And so if, for example, the Oracle was in the deck and the Cavern was in our hand, like vice versa, right? Then the Cavern would have been discarded and we at least would have had a chance to put the Thassa on the stack. But without a card like Unearth in our deck or like a third Oracle, it was just the way that the cookie happened to crumble that game. So that was a very, very close matchup. They found the Reanimate on the turn that they needed that Reanimate. And I don't remember if there was an opportunity, like if I had mindlessly spewed like a Dark Ritual out to get out my Doomsday there. If I did, I would have done it, I think, playing around Days, like with that in mind. But if I hadn't, like, I don't remember, but there's like, it's possible that I played out one of my cards foolishly when I should have held it in my hand to kind of cushion the Oracle. We were dead to Thoughtseize there too, if they Thoughtseized us. It was just, the way the cookie crumbled. So our 2 losses, I think, were quite close. We took Ozymandias to 3. This is my little Doomsdayer. Yes. She's a little Doomsdayer, all right. All right, we're just hanging around with Sophie here, waiting for the last 2 matches to come out so you can see me get sad. The last time I played with the Is It Cutter, we also went 4-2 in the challenge. And then I finished 17th out of 16. And I think if we look at the prizes, like, we're going to get less than we paid to get in. We're going to get like 200 play points in all likelihood, which is less than I paid to get in. Whereas if we finish 9 to 16th, we actually get some good shit. 10 treasure chests, 350 play points, and then 10 QP points. I've been like 2 or 3 QP points short of entering the showcase challenges the past couple times. So hitting a top 16 here would be sweet for us, because it might mean that we'd have a shot at playing in a showcase. But I just don't have time to grind enough leagues to enter those tournaments often, and I always 3-2. So yeah, we got to get good. Nice. Finished 15th. Oh, that's sick. That is so good for us. Alrighty, so yeah, we finished 15th today. We got 10 championship QP points, 350 play points, and 10 treasure chests. You love to see it. Our boy Red Hot Phil made it into the top 8, so let's root for this Omni dude. I really hope our Omni brother takes it down, because they had luck on their side today. Larson's at 6-0 because Larson's a master. Parks, what a great day. All around solid outing. Yeah, what more can I say, folks? I'm signing out.